Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Berserk manga read-through, where today we are starting volume 34, and have a look at this cover. We have Femto, Griffith's demon form, his apostle form, standing next to Nosferatu Zod, also transformed. We have not seen Femto in a really long time, so this is really interesting to have on display here. What's going to take place in the story to have this be relevant? Can't wait to see. It's already teasing us with something, so let's just get into it and see what happens. So volume 34, the artwork that we've got is a beautiful vertical piece. You got to tilt your head for that one to see Guts being consumed by the helmet of the Berserker armor, and he's poking his head out, and that looks insane. And then, oh, I already know who this is. This is got to be this would be the apostle transformed version of the dude with the bow, because that's the eye that's on the bow that he uses. He transforms from like being a cool archer with a demon bow to like a centaur, except if the centaur was attached to the butt instead, and there's a head of a beast too. This is the weirdest looking centaur I've ever seen, and Sonya is riding it. That is a really strange image. It's like if you were permanently mounted to a horse, because you can hold onto the horns as you ride. Very strange. But that's the archer guy. Okay. So that's going to happen. And the cover for volume 34 is Griffith upon his horseback. So let's have a look. We're running through our characters. It adds Ganishka to the pile here. And then this is basically where we've left off, right? So this is our Star Wars opening crawl of Emperor Ganishka of the Kashan Empire was an apostle. His desire was to extend the territory under his control to every corner of the world, then surpass and transcend the God-hand beings who stand above the apostles. To this end, he joined the bodies of captured apostles to build an artificial reincarnation vessel, produced a force of demon beasts, and grouped them together with humans from lands he ruled to populate a large army. He then challenged Griffith, who was far beyond his level. Realizing that he could currently do nothing against Griffith, Ganishka lowered himself into the reincarnation vessel in an attempt at a second reincarnation. Thus, he was reborn as a towering demonic beast that stood practically as tall as the sky. However, his ego imploded and he began to attack any enemy or ally in his path. What will Griffith and the new Band of the Hawk do in the face of this giant beast? This is just crazy what's going on right now. So we've got basically shadow figure who's blocking out the sun's spaghetti arms of darkness, and we're going to see what's going to happen. So giant god of blindness is this chapter 297, and everyone everywhere who has a view of the sun can see this, and everyone is stopping what they're doing to take a look at that. Look at that. Not only is it seeing Spaghetti Monster over in the distance there, but just like the clouds of darkness that have formed surrounding it as well. That's a great shot. Oh yes, and let us not forget his giant elephant feet stompers that are also taking out anyone in the vicinity. Could you imagine how long it would have taken just to draw this thing, let alone make sense of it? Like, be like, how do I make this thing work at like a close-up angle? It's insane. They're flowers, red flowers. I crushed the insects and red flowers bloomed. Oh yeah, what's his face is riding his pterodactyl dragon, because he's like, please calm yourself, Majesty. Those are soldiers of the Empire. Can't you see them? They're down at your feet. Noisy bug buzzing in my ear. Oh, you're about to get wiped out. Yep. Oh, well, they're trying to. All of the mouths with a fire breath trying to consume him. God damn. The way that all of this is drawn is spectacular. Oh, and then balls of fire raining down at the feet of Ganishka, eviscerating everything in its path. What madness! I fear that His Majesty's ego has definitely consumed him. This dude is just insane now. This is no longer His Majesty, the Great Emperor Ganishka. It's just like the one who destroys the world with fire, Shiva himself. But what's going on here? What's this boundless landscape? The only moving things are bugs creeping on the earth. Isn't anyone there? My soldiers? Daiba? Anyone? Soldiers? Soldiers? What are soldiers? Daiba? What is this? Who am I? Isn't anyone there? Somebody be there. Wow, because nothing even resonates with him anymore. He transformed into a million arms, faces, eyes, nose, mouths, everything. He unfortunately has no ears. He's like, I can't hear anyone. Just noisy bugs to him. What a sight. It's like witnessing the end of the world. Can't wait to see how Griffith is going to cleanse this palette. Someone. Anyone. Oh, and then off in the distance, a bright light on the horizon. Haha, what's that? Light? What's it gonna be, baby? It's gonna be the Hawk of Light. Walking up to put you out of your misery. Look at that stare. That's right. That's the thing I wanted. That light. That very light is my... Oh, and it just ends. That very light is my... What, Ganishka? Let's find out. Chapter 298, which is Demonic Release. Demonic Release. I mean, we're certainly seeing a demonic release right now. What the hell? He's not spawning little Ganishka tentacle babies here. Look at this thing. What the? And they're just taking up any of the stragglers and eating them. This is just Ganishka's version of the eclipse at this point. Ugh. I don't even know what they're saying. They're just saying lick good. Lick good. Lick good. Lick my balls. Look, a swarm of smaller monsters rose up. They're coming this way. Sir Hawk. Lord Griffith. Lord Griffith. Band of the Hawk. Assume an echelon formation. Here we go. Time for the Hawk to prove themselves the hero of the realm. All the while, Guts and the gang are just on a boat to Elfhelm. While this massive conflict takes place. Hear me, lords of Midland, as well as all who volunteered to be here. I ask you to guard His Holiness the Pontiff, Her Highness the Princess, and the people of Wyndham. We shall! Lord Griffith! Fear not, Princess. Sonia, stay with His Holiness and Highness. What? Mule, protect the three of them. Yes, sir. Let me stay with you. Listen to reason for once. Sonia is just way too attached, dude. Sonia's kind of annoying. She needs to chill. I wonder if she's gonna get... Her jealousy will overcome her between Charlotte and Griffith. Ugh. War demons. Forward. I love these, like, Band of the Hawk, get set up. Oh, by the way, war demons? Go for it. And I love the details in this, that when you look in the background, it's not just random enemies, like it's very much specific returning apostles. You can see Lucas and his horse, you see Griffith and his horse, you can see Grunbeld, and you can see Zod, and I love that. I love that you can just see them in the, like, just sitting there in the background as well. Like, they are accounted for in the crowd, and it's great. And off they go to do battle against the Ganishka spawns, and everyone's just looking at him being like, what the fuck? What's really cool is we're getting group shots from pretty much everybody here. Even Silet and the Baki Raka are watching. We still haven't gotten a Skull Knight panel yet, so we got to wonder and see if the Skull Knight has a part to play in this too. Oh, and then Griffith gives permission for the demons to release themselves. He's very kind. He's like, demons, you have permission to come. And they all ejaculate on the battlefield. Demonic release. This dude looks like he's got like a hockey mask on his forehead. Look at these designs though. They are insane. I think what we're seeing is like on this one, and this one, like you're seeing like, I guess the heads that they had before, and they're like mid-transformation. Like it's pretty fucking crazy. You see Grunbeld out here. So wild to witness. It's like Griffith just has a bunch of Digimon, and he just gets them to Digivolve and then attack. That's like most of these designs you can't even comprehend, and they are so masterfully detailed. The way they all stand out from one another, even when they're drawn on this page, and they all kind of, you know, almost blend in. But the longer you look, the more details you can find. And look at this, like every single fucking panel is gorgeous. Like what the fuck? Look at the amount of detail on all of those double spreads. I think that holds the record for the probably the shortest chapter I've ever read of Berserk. How many pages was this? Because this felt really short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 pages, I think. That's definitely like the shortest Berserk chapter I've ever read, I think. It was literally just like, alright boys, ejaculate, and then they all transform. And that was it. I mean, the funny thing is, a release is very quick. You know? It's very quick and sudden and pleasurable. And this chapter was very quick. There was definitely a release of demonic proportions, and it was pleasurable. The drawings in this looked crazy, and this is why you can understand it was a shorter chapter, because they put their heart and soul. Miura really was just like, I'm gonna draw these beautiful fucking double spreads and you're gonna be happy. I guess that's actually kind of the thing, is these are double spreads, so I guess these are all 2 pages. So it's not 14, only 14 pages, I should say. It's more than that because these are 1 page each. So you just have to really think about the level of detail that's put into a full page and then go, it makes sense that it's a quicker chapter to go through. Chapter 299, let's go. Let's check this one out. Just push into Inhuman Battlefield. I mean, appropriate chapter titles at this point in time. I mean, what else are you going to call it? Look at them all. This is like if Digimon was just a horror anime instead, and this is like, you know, just the I think it's like Tentamon, and he evolves into like Coagamon, I think, and then he has like a Herculean beetle transformation. It's all in there. Look at these designs, they're wild. That dude's got an eyeball for a mouth, very unfortunate. I think this is part of the same one. He's got an eyeball mouth, but then he has 2 other mouths on top of his legs. They're just like very unfortunate transformations for a lot of these apostles are just like, fuck man, is this the form I really wanted? They're just going crazy. So it's just demons v demons at this point. Giant fireballs. Grunbeld stomping him out. Look at him. Look at this fucking guy. Grunbeld just coming in. Crystal fire dragon that he is. My god. Well, and I love the sense of scale that we're seeing here, right? Like we're just seeing, it just keeps showing us the bigger ones, the even bigger apostles. Like Grunbeld and the fucking whale one with a face on the chin. Whatever the hell that thing is. Just the scale of it is crazy. I'm just you're just like looking back in the detail. Now Locus is here too, and he sticks out like a fucking sore thumb because this dude just looks like so wild. He looks different to everything. He's so smooth and shiny with his massive fucking jewel blade. And then you can't forget Big Boy, Mr. One Horn, tearing through everything like he's been waiting for this his whole life. And meanwhile, these fucking soldiers are just sat in the corner. These soldiers are just sat here like, yep, what is this? What the fuck is happening right now? Because I guess this is a reveal to the humans as well, that are all just like, oh yeah, by the way, my Band of the Hawk is capable of doing some cool stuff. Don't be worried though, don't stress out, it's all just a dream. Everyone's just like, what the fuck? What is this? The war demons! Even Silet's stressed out. He's like, don't worry guys, we're on your side. We just look super friendly. My god. The war demons, they're monsters? They aren't human. I kind of sensed maybe they weren't, but I never expected this. I also love that. I'm like, oh, the people in the Band of the Hawk that were called war demons? You mean they're actual demons? They're monsters? Who would have thought? That's crazy. Forget it. No man would ever, we would never stand a chance, not in a fight between demons like this. Why? Why is he leading such demons? What the hell is the Hawk? This is really spectacular as well, because we've had everyone being like, Hawk of Light, and we're all dreaming about it, and he's going to come and save the world, and he comes in, everyone's like, wow, that's Griffith. He's coming in, he's our savior. And then we get to this point, he's brought everyone together, the Pontiff has given his blessing, they're all here. He is the united singular army of basically Midland at this point. And then he's like, demons, switch up real quick. And then everyone's like, what? Is it too late to rescind our pledge to the Band of the Hawk? Because what's going on here? And I guess maybe this will be the explanation for maybe Femto coming out. He's going to go, haha, suckers, I'm going to get my kingdom now and you'll be my subjects whether you like it or not. Because he's just standing there. Yeah, because everyone's like, wait, maybe he's one too. There you go. And in the biggest words I've ever seen printed on a Berserk panel, with everybody's faces just being like, you idiots! Whoa, what the? Was that voice in my head? What the? Who the hell? What was that? Oh, this is Sonya. Mule falls off his fucking horse and he stands up, and Sonya's just standing there like pensive-faced. And then it's quiet. Yeah, it's Sonya. Interesting. She just like reached into everybody's head and called them all idiots because they're all questioning at this point what the hell's going on. And Sonya, with her eyes and her pupils looking like the goddamn eclipse, is of laser focus because she's obsessed with this man. Wild. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Why were we all just called idiots? The medium of the Hawk. We have a chapter focused on Sonya now as a result. So as this darkness hurricane is taking place, we've got Sonya talking in the head of everyone. Humans, demons, what does it matter? So what if they aren't human? So what if they're demons? Who's that shedding blood over there? Who's that risking their lives? Humans? Demons? No, wrong. What matters is whether we fight beside Griffith the Hawk. After all, we're the Band of the Hawk. God damn, alright, she's not in her head, she's shouting this time. And then she just charges in. Miss Medium! Sonya! Off she goes. Interesting choice. She's been inspired, I guess, to go up against a fucking demon on her own. Hope she gets eaten. She's gonna get saved, though. So, out of nowhere, this beast is just like pierced with so many blades that just come out. Who the fuck did that? And it just explodes, and I think it knocks back Sonya off of her horse. Ah, and it's the artwork. There you go. There you go. Reverse Centaur Man has transformed, and he shows up. So it looks like he's got some cool ass arrow thing that he shoots, and it pierces the skin of it, and then inside of its body it shoots out a bunch of thorns almost, and it just like comes out of everywhere. And that's a demonic release right there. Wild. She made a good friend in this guy to get saved by him. What an interesting design though. You'd think that you'd want to be placed a little bit closer. Like being at the back above the tail is pretty awkward. Like I would put myself either in the middle or like on the back shoulders there, because then it's more like you're riding it, at least if you're attached to it. This is just super strange. You go to such extremes. You're the hunter. You're rather rash, medium. What did you think you could do against that by yourself? You sounded like some peevish child during your speech. Yeah, look how far back he is. It's so wild. Yeah, well, but it seems it did convey your point. Nice. Rallied the hawk. Morale increased. The medium of the hawk. I'll fight too, alongside the hawk. Good grief, she's always so reckless. All forces, heed my words. And in comes Griffith. Be like, don't be silly. The war demons are mighty, but even they can't check all the enemies. Lure as many of them that get past the war demons as you can, then after a volley of cannons and arrows, 2 lines of cavalry, then 4 Lancer divisions will attack in groups. Band of the Hawk, once again, assume battle formation. And he fucking pulls everyone together. Man's just like, laser focus. Do this, because you have a part to play as well. Goddamn. Maximum elevation! Aim for the head! Not yet! Lure it as close as possible! As close as possible! Fire! Shooting all the cannons at him. So anyone that gets past the war demons is going to be met with cannon fire and volleys. And then cavalry. So cool. Right in the eyes, mate. Right in the fucking eyes. Cavalry! Charge! Ride in files, then break left and right. Attack from both sides! These are cool though, because it shows how Griffith is able to command his men in such an efficient military manner, as well as the demons. It's crazy. And then they attack it and slice at it, cutting off those tentacles from both sides, and then just charging it and just stabbing it with a bunch of poles. Bunch of spears, impaling them all. Look at that. That's beautiful. These chapters are definitely super action-packed in a way that they are shorter. They are definitely shorter, but they're really like giving us so much at the same time, giving us such an intense amount of action and combat. So we will move into chapter 301. Chaos. Chaos. Look at that. Well, medium, my name's Sonya. Get off. This is dangerous. Nope. In that case, keep your head down and hold on tight. All right, we're gonna see this dude doing some action, leaping over the band of the hawk, Sonya. And then we go into a beautiful double spread. Okay, so this is why you sit so far back. It makes sense now. Okay. So by summoning it out of the tail, this is so creative. By summoning the arrow out of the tail of the beast and then putting it in between the horns so you can use the horns, it looks like out of the horns comes like almost like a webbing type deal. And then you've got like the point that you can aim on, the top of the head. That's perfect. And then unleash that arrow right into said beast, and then it does its little thorn spikes move. And then you can do 3 at a time and triple that output. Look at that. As silly as it looks to have him all the way at the back there, it makes sense for what he needs to do. He couldn't just, have a bow in hand. The bow needs to be part of the beast, because that's fucking spectacular. The showmanship there, incredible. And then Sonya is like, let's go. It moved like a ripple. Oh man. And with this nightmarish spectacle at his backdrop, look at this thing. It's a bird woman apostle with a bird chest, and the eyeballs of the bird are titties. And it's got like wings out of its head and wings out of its head and wings out of its body. That's what the angels look like in the Bible. Look at that thing. What the hell? Oh man, it's actually getting eaten. Oh no, what the fuck? What happened here? So it gets like thrown down to the ground. Oh, nice. I thought they would just all ran over it and trampled it, but they run to its rescue and then fight off. How cool is that? That's actually a neat touch. Actually, humans protecting demons is the weirdest imagery. It's the weirdest imagery. And then, as the human's getting knocked back, rejoins the fight. God damn. All the crossbowmen shooting it, attracting its attention. And then it like instant transmissions behind them. Oh, look at this shot. This is so wild. I mean, say what you will, right? It's so bizarre to see humanity and demons fighting side by side against other more fucked up demons. And look at these detailed pages. All I can think of in this moment is the eclipse, and you think of like the horrors of the original Band of the Hawk being absolutely decimated by these things. You see that that's a mammoth with a body coming out of its head? It's like a cyclops mammoth. It just really is like crazy and unfortunate. When all you can think of when you see this is, I just think of the eclipse, and how far we've come in storytelling since then. Look at this shit. Beasts and men, wolves and sheep, holy and wicked, dream and reality, life and death, they were now hand in hand. That's just insane. Genuinely. When this is zoomed out like this, where's my Berserk, where's Wally edition? Where's Guts in all of the battle scenes? And here's the diver coming over the top. How can this thing be? Humans and apostles. It's inconceivable. It is the weirdest thing I have seen today. Apostles are heresy to the world of man, infernal reincarnations via dark arts of those with extreme ego and desire. They despise and are despised. They ridicule and are ridiculed. They hate and are hated. These twisted, resurrected monstrosities met death at the brink of karma. And now they fight alongside men, not because they're forced to, but in fact willingly. Dismount, one thrust on horseback, and you can say goodbye to your lance. Defend this position, no matter the cost. We must protect His Holiness and the princess. Sorry. Please, move back. You are in danger, Holiness. Yeah, but he looks like he's seen some shit. Because people fear the unknown. They speak the same words to one another. Because they fear the unknown, they distrust words they don't understand. Because they fear the unknown, they believe in a doctrine. Because they fear the unknown, they reject other gods. People must cope with their world because of the unknown. Paganism, foreign languages, different races. Because of fear, they label outsiders. All manner of social classes. Everything that separates people is here at this place. And so is that which proves that all this is mere child's play. The ultimate unknown Yet, why is it? My chest is filled with... No, everyone here is filled with exaltation. What a radiant chaos this is. You're damn right. Look at this shit. And that is the final image of the chapter. The volume 34 cover art of Griffith leading the charge. Chapter 302. The Flight. In he charges, with everyone in hand. Look at that. That is just immaculate. Look at that image. That's crazy. And we've got beasts in the sky too. That attracts everyone's attention to look up. Oh shit. Oh shit. Wow, as that comes stomping down on all of them. Because, I mean, still, at the end of the day, right? You're still going up against whatever the fuck this is. You got beasts. I've got Nosferatu Zod breaking the sound barrier here. Zooming on in from the skies above. Oh, with Griffith on the back of him. He's gonna go, like, right into him. Look at these shots. They're like, it's so hard to like look at this and be like, it's so hard to just not study every single line. Look at that. The amount of shading work. I do not have the patience for this. Like, you need to look at that. You just really need to give credit where credit's due. I wonder how big the original pages are. Like, how big these drawings are before they're like kind of scanned in and put on a page. Like, are they to scale? Or are they, does he draw on massive pieces of paper and then they get scanned in and kind of shrunk down? I have no idea. What we do know is that Zod has just kind of, I guess, gone all the way up to the top with Griffith here. They're going into this little dent in the middle here, where it's just a bunch of the heads. Ooh. And we haven't seen this guy in a while. Tucked away in Zod's wing, watching. As Griffith walks right into the center. Wow. And that was the end of that chapter too. We are really just motoring through. These ones, which is really crazy. Yeah. Chaos was 301, 302, 303 is backlighting. Backlighting. Okay. Wait, what the hell's happening now? Okay, hang on. Backlighting, I suppose? Look at this. My mother doted upon my younger brother, and to ensure that he took the throne, she poisoned me when I was 6. Are we getting a Ganishka backstory right now? Yo, after I did away with my brother, and my mother cast herself down, nothing changed. The royalty and aristocracy in the palace would sometimes show hostility, sometimes feign support, as they plotted to kill me, the prince. I survived that den of vipers. And the things that met the serpent prince's eyes from the throne were the king's eyes, eyes filled with fear and suspicion. While on a royal visit, the king was thrown to his death when his mount suddenly went berserker. Berserk. Wow, and you can see that, you know, suddenly went berserk. Certainly wasn't shot with a, you know, an arrow, and then killed to make sure that they couldn't, like, speak of this to anyone. And then he continues, and then he ascends the throne but though I ascended to the throne, I knew no peace. This young snake king of a small kingdom had keen ears. The dragons of the warring nations were lying in wait. To survive, I devoted myself, mind, and soul to war. The viper-like cunning and composure I'd cultivated since childhood allowed me to cheat death many times. I had to inspire fear far greater than my own. As was customary with the warring nations, I took a wife from the royalty of a neighboring kingdom and even had a son. But with all my time devoted to war, I didn't have occasion to turn back and look at my family. No, I feared it. The idea of mother and child. For many months and years, I fought from battlefield to battlefield and became a peerless dragon among the dragons of the nations. At some point, the ambition to reign supreme over the world possessed me. It was as if no amount of blood could ever paint over my irreconcilable fear. Look at this design work, look at the detailing in this armor, it's so wild. That beard. I returned to the royal palace after several years to attend a banquet. Were you poisoned? Again? Poisoned for the second time in my life. Oh, wow. They were all just like, welcome home, bitch. The eyes of my son looking down at me were fearful and turbid, as if reflecting how mine once looked. Whoa. Oh, man. Oh, no fucking shit. He just happened to have a Balet on his shelf. Okay, holy shit. So as he's poisoned, getting impaled with spears and on the brink of death, he pulls off of his shelf an egg. That strange stone was once presented to me by a stranger at Sardu on the other side of the road. He's just on the side of the road and he's like, hey man, want this weird looking egg thing? That's spectacular. This looks like the Diber. And he activates it with his blood, obviously. There you go. And then that's it. Would have sacrificed his family and all of his subjects, I'd assume, in order to attain this God King Emperor power of his. Life, the world, it's all darkness. In the all-engulfing darkness, you fear, you instill fear, you writhe and creep. Lightlessness, that is life. And then he opens his eyes to light, just blinding light. Yeah, it's blinding, I can't see. It's warm, but I can't touch it. I'll be burned. You can see, because he who bears light exists in the deepest shadow. Oh my god, and there it is. Holy fuck. Seeped in blinding light, the form of Fento is revealed, and it's within darkness that true light is discovered. The light is enveloping me. Ooh. Balet blade? This surprises Zod. Oh, hang on, Balet blade. Duh, Balet blade is Skull Knight. No shit. As soon as I was like, Balet blade, I'm like, wait a minute. Motherfucking Skull Knight. I was waiting for this dude to show up for the longest time. I'm like, surely this is such a huge event taking place and he's nowhere to be seen, but you just know that he is here somewhere. Holy shit. So he just sliced his way through this and took Zod by surprise. And he's like, what's up? He's going to try and strike at Femto while he's like distracted. Yeah, he goes to strike. Zod launches in. Slash. No, fucking, it fucking ends the chapter. Imagine if that was like the end of the volume. Holy shit. That is a ridiculous cliffhanger ending. Can we just like talk about this though? This whole fucking chapter. This chapter is incredible. It starts off and gives you the full Balet backstory to how Ganishka became who he was. horrible upbringing and short and sweet backstory here to give context to his existence, and just seeing him then blinding light, and he who bears light exists in the deepest shadow. Look at that shot, man. That is just insane. And as light is enveloping him, Baelet's sword cuts through. My God, man. Oh, these past few volumes, there have just been masterpiece upon masterpiece drawn on the page for us to bear witness. Look at that. And it just ends on a slash. You know, this actually makes me curious at this point in time, because we're in chapter, like, we're past chapter 300 now. We're in the 300th chapters, and it makes me wonder at this point how the releases of chapters were going, like what years they were coming out in, because I know that there was, like, we start getting to the point where the manga has like hiatuses or breaks in between. So from what I can see here, this was still coming out semi-regularly, I think, because the volume 33 looks like it was 2008 in Japan, and then 2009, a year later, was volume 34. So I guess the breaks started happening more so in the 2010s, I think. Also, something that I'll note now while I'm just looking at like the chapter releases as well is we will be reading the first chapter of volume 35, which is kind of weird, but that's because that the first chapter of volume 35 is the last chapter of the Millennium Falcon arc. So we will resolve the arc this episode. I'm not going to leave one singular chapter of it left. So we'll be reading volume 34 plus chapter 307 of volume 35, and then we'll leave it. But it's pretty crazy to think about. We're fast approaching modern Berserk because of the breaks that were taking place. So we're in that last 100 chapters where the journey is coming to a close at some point. And then I'll be up to date and reading the final chapters as they come out. But let's just stay on track for now. Chapter 304, which is Fisher. As this rosy Baelet sword slashes upon Femto. He doesn't even move. Zod's just like, my lord, no! Not my owner. And he goes to just slam down, and Skull Knight's like, whoop, jump out of the way. And he jumps up on some heads. I was waiting for you. Yeah, he was. This is the thing. I was like, we're getting everyone's reactions to this event except Skull Knight. So where the fuck is he? There we go. I was waiting for you. The one who targets the God Hand at temporal junction points, the Knight of Skeleton. Whoa, what? You must have distorted space. Causality is brought to fruition with this sword stroke. Whoa. Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So Femto was waiting for both of them, or Femto was waiting for Skull Knight to appear, the one who targets the God Hand at temporal junction points, the Knight of Skeleton. So Femto was waiting for him to arrive and strike. He had warped like space to... So the attack that Skull Knight did became almost like a physical object that's like warped around him, and he can hold on to it. Causality is brought to fruition with this sword stroke. It's hard to know who's talking when this is just Apostle font. You know, Skull Knight, Zod, Apostles all talk in this font. And there's no like speech bubble arrows. So I'm assuming that Skull Knight is saying you must have distorted space. And then Femto is saying causality is brought to fruition with this sword stroke. One twice reincarnated, and a sword stroke which reaches still deeper into the spirit world, have opened the door. So the slice has gone through Ganishka. And Skull Knight and Zod are both, you get like, there's no expression on this face, but you know it's a surprised expression. This man's like, what the fuck is going on? So, oh my god. So this is like the prophecy, right? That they're talking about, like the dream, where it's like there's this thing that will block out the sun, which is Ganishka, and then it will be taken down, like it will be destroyed, and then the true light will shine through after that. And this is, I guess, Skull Knight has inadvertently sliced through to this true blinding light. I don't even know what to make of it, dude. And it looks like it's ever expanding out the top of the head, so it's all dissipating now. Yeah, so just like this strike with such light that it's just destroying everything that's connected to Ganishka. And humans and apostles alike staring in absolute awe of what is taking place as the true light starts shining through and overpowering that tall shadow spaghetti monster. Look at that. Such a powerful light. Ooh. Ooh. Everyone's getting all astral formy. Like this is what Farnese and Shirka look like when they're astral projecting. Dude, this is insane what is taking place right now. Creation is the next chapter. Everyone in Midland sees this. You know what's actually insane to me? Like, surely, surely, yeah, there you go. I'm like, surely it has to reach these guys, because I'm just like, this major event, something so massive has just taken place, and these guys are nowhere near it. Our main cast of heroes are nowhere near it. So I was like, surely they've got to see this explosion of light. I'll be forever questioning how this scenario would have played out if Guts was around there to actually know what was happening. Dude. And he's also enveloped in that same light. What the hell? So we've already witnessed at the Tower of Conviction, like the birth of the perfect world, right? We've already witnessed the birth of the perfect world. But if you wanted to see something that was like the birth of a perfect world bathed in light, this is the shot. I can't believe we're actually seeing the planet and the moon in Berserk, just zooming out that far to see how far that light went. What the hell? There's even a unicorn. Unicorns are canon in Berserk. A whole bunch of unicorns are canon in Berserk. Unicorns have now been born from the light. Oh, and they're being chased by... what the fuck? Unicorns are being chased by Snake Hydra. What is happening now? Unicorns being eaten. What? Okay. What the fuck is happening now? This is all of a sudden, so hang on. So this massive... Dude, I'm so lost right now. What am I even reading? I can't even begin to imagine how you could, like, how beautiful this could look in an anime adaptation with time and care. Like, I just can't even picture them being able to animate any of this arc. When you look at the detail in just one panel, you're like, how the fuck would they ever do an anime of this justice with all of the moving images? It would take you forever to recreate some of these panels in anime quality that wouldn't be disappointing looking. It would be so hard to do it justice. So we then cut to Unicorn Forest getting eaten by Snake Hydra, and then the chapter ends. What the fuck? 306. This is the last chapter of the volume, but the second to last chapter of this episode. Fantasia. The sheep are bleating. The ground is shaking. Okay. Every apostle and troll and monster ever is waking up and just going for it. And now we're living in Dark Souls. That's like what we just witnessed there was a Dark Souls opening cutscene. There was a massive light explosion that enveloped half of the world, and born from it was the Dark Soul. And now we're seeing the Red Wyvern in the Undead Burg. Oh, and the trolls are back. Yep. And the trolls are back, and they're eating geese. And the demon spirits going crazy, and the skeletons are coming up, and the fucking goblins are raiding towns. And the trolls are dusting the rooftops. So I expect, right, what we are witnessing taking place, trying to wrap my head around these huge events, is through Ganishka, Femto manipulated Skull Knight with his sword that can, like, you know, transcend through to the spirit world, and he's gone and used that power against Skull Knight and the world itself by slicing through and having this blinding light envelop the world, and in that light is true darkness. And it's by, I guess it seems like he's connecting the spirit world and whatever the normal world is called, and he's just kind of like bringing them together, at least in a way more powerful sense than it was before. Amongst villages, cities, nations, and peoples for centuries, for millennia, stories have been told about them as if they really exist. People fear them, yearn for them, yet cannot catch or escape them. Thus they have gone on imagining this other half of the world, and it now lies before their eyes. Yeah, so it's like the veil is off now. Like that light has like erased all like shadow in a sense of like what people see. It's all there now. Mankind's desire, Fantasia. I'm not the only one seeing a bunch of butts, am I? I'm not the only one seeing a bunch of butts, right? That's so intentional. There's butts and titties in here, 100%. This is like one of those psychological things where it's like, what do you see? Butts and titties? It's like, no, that's not what it's meant to be at all. Is that Slan all the way in the center there? No, it is. Yep, because this is this fucking guy. The God Hand are appearing now. Yeah, so this is Slan in a hurricane of titties. I don't know this dude's name, but I know his face. On a sea of rats with skeletons inside. There he is there. I can see him tucked away in whatever the fuck this Salvador Dali looking ass manga page is. And then this is the brain. This is Big Boy. This has got to be the funniest and most astounding God Hand introduction I have ever seen. It is just so bizarre that it's like, we've seen the God Hand show up a few times now, and it's always really cool, and this is just fucked. Titty Hurricane, Rat Tsunami, Salvador Dali looking ass, brain time. This volume has destroyed my brain. And there it is. This volume, I don't even know what the fuck to say. What the fuck? I don't even know what the fuck to do. And the volume ends with Spaghetti Monster being instead like, oh fuck. That looks like the big ass tree in Elden Ring. Is that what this is gonna like transform into? Some fucking pillars of light now. And that's the end of the volume. Imagine if that was just the end and then there was like a huge break. All right, so we're going to start volume 35 and just run right into it to finish this arc. 307. I don't know who that is. Oh, more pirates. That dude again? Pirates are coming for revenge? Are we really getting Pirates of the Caribbean Part 2 in this volume as well? Crazy. Look at that volume 35 shot of guts. Alright, I'm shocked. Okay, let's have a look. This will give us an explanation. I think we've pieced it together fairly well. The giant demonic beast transformation of Ganishka was put to death by Griffith, and a swing of the Knight of Skeleton's sword of actuation turned Ganishka into the source from which sprung a new world. The otherworldly light and wind that emitted from Ganishka engulfed every nook and cranny of the planet. Thus did the world change. This new world was one in which creatures mankind had imagined and spoken of for generations suddenly existed. Every myth, every fiction, every legend, every story, suddenly real. And there were already things that were magical and mysterious and everything. There were so many things that were magical and mysterious and like wild that already existed, and now that like that whole veil of other things that didn't even exist has been lifted. The world of Fantasia, and our first chapter is Falconia. So Fantasia and now Falconia. Yeah, holy shit. So it's now been like, it's just like transformed. I assume this is going to be where Elden Ring got its imagery inspiration from the giant golden tree of light. Like this. Like the northern tree of myth, piercing the heavens and reaching to the ends of the earth. Like the eastern tree of sutra, where the sage meets with enlightenment. Like the western tree of ritual, signifying the reason of all creation, as if it were the origin rooted deep within all mankind. It was like the very essence of tree itself. Everyone, humanity and apostle alike, all looking up at this creation. Look at that. Oh man. Is this going to end up being... I don't even know what this is. Is this like going to be Griffith's new kingdom? Did that also get birthed out of the light explosion? He gets his own kingdom now? Oh, and it's called Falconia? Is that what this is going to be? All of like the Falcon statues and the knights and everything? No shot. Griffith actually achieved his dream. And he totally tricked Skull Knight into making it happen. He used Skull Knight and his sword of actuation to birth his own perfect world. Oh my god. And the God Hand just chilling for like a couple of panels. They just are like existing while Griffith just getting shit done. Griffith has his own kingdom, assuming it's going to go under the name of Falconia. There's a bunch of wings and hawk imagery everywhere. It would make the most sense. And look at it. Look at it. Is that the legendary city said to have sunk deep beneath Windham so long ago? No, it's too huge to be that. Majestic. Doesn't appear man-made at all. Well, perhaps that makes it all the more appropriate. As if it's the new capital, the capital of the new world, where the hawk shall sit and rule. It truly is Falconia, capital of the hawk. We made it obvious enough by all the winged imagery. Falconia. Falconia, the capital of the hawk. God damn, and flying down from this new tree of light that's like the tree in all essence of what a tree is, comes down Griffith and Zod. And he points. Oh boy, does he point. And everyone goes moving into his new kingdom. He's like, this is where I live now. This is where I live now, and you all live here too. Oh, all of the old Ganishka little tentacle monsters all became trees of their own too. I'm shocked. I'm blown away. And that's the end of the Millennium Falcon arc, with the creation of Griffith's kingdom, Falconia. He did it. And Guts has been on a boat this whole time with Magnifico of all people. And I guess they're headed to Elfhelm, so we're going to find out what goes on there, but they just witnessed the light explosion. It's so weird and so unique in this story for such a massive story point to take place where the main protagonist and that group of characters are completely absent because they're on their own quest right now, and it's just so interesting how the story is playing out in that way. And I cannot wait to see how it continues either. This whole volume, plus chapter 307 to wrap up the arc, has melted my brain, and I need to sit and reflect on what I've just witnessed, because this is probably the single most masterful end to an arc I've ever witnessed. It's just insane. This era of Berserk is certainly my favorite right now, and I just can't believe it. It's just so wild. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of me reading and experiencing whatever the hell this is, and I'm keen to continue. So I'll see you next time for the rest of Volume 35 and the beginning of a new arc in Berserk. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. So anyways, we're fighting.